Alright, so I am back, and as promised in the last video that I did, the T-Sturmy feeding video, if you didn't see that, go back and watch it and then come back and catch up. For the rest of you, you know I mentioned at the end of that video that I had several tarantulas that needed to be moved around, and some of them have been eating it for quite a while, such as this handsome fellow here. Others have just recently outgrown their enclosures, so we are going to basically do some musical enclosures today and move animals around and make sure that everybody is happier and more comfortable in their surroundings. You know that I've been trying to go for a more natural enclosure, which means switching over to an organic substrate, the Biodudes Terra Aranya. This is one guy that has not gotten it yet. He's still living on cocoa fiber, and as you can see, his enclosure is barren. That is not by my design. He had plenty of stuff in here when I put him in, and he basically undid every single thing that I put in there, so I just stopped putting stuff in there. But he needs to be in a different enclosure on a different substrate. And I've also got some others that need to be upgraded. So we are going to get set up, and we're going to start doing some rehousings. Okay, I've got my catch cup ready to go ahead and get this junk out of here. So this is Stanley, my male Brachypelma auratum. Unfortunately male. My first B auratum. He's pretty chill. If you'll go way back in my videos history when I first got him, you can see me handling him. He was one of my favorites for the longest time in temperament because he was so handleable. But of course, I don't handle him much anymore, but he's still pretty chill. So the idea here is I'm just going to walk him into the deli cup, and then we're just going to take this old crummy substrate out and put something new in there for him. If he doesn't cause a problem, I may have to cup him because he's usually not that bolty, and I don't know what to expect out of him. Hold on, guys. Alright, so I'm just going to try to roll the cup over on top of him. Now, you know me, I've got a bit of a track record with pretty flawless rehousings, but the last couple have been a little tricky. That's why I decided to err on the side of caution the minute he jumped the way he did, because he's usually not that jumpy. So we're just going to get him into the cup, like so. Such a handsome boy. We're going to set him to the side and let him relax, and we are going to redo his enclosure. Be right back, folks. Alright, so I have finished Stanley's enclosure. I hope he likes it better than the last one, which, like I said, he undid every single thing I did to it. But I decided to change it up just a little bit. I've got some rocks in there. I've got one under here, one here, small one here, another one here. And then I've got two in the corner, along with a stick and a couple of leaves and some sphagnum moss. From the research that I've done and seen the videos I have seen, the flame knee lives in a forest environment, so I try to replicate that as much as possible. Tried not to put too much thought and effort into it because he may just pull all of this stuff up and I'm going to have to take it out anyway. But for the time being, we're going to quit talking about that, and we're going to go ahead and put him in there. And he seems to be pretty calm, so just going to set the cup down and let him walk right in on his own. Maybe with a little help. He's pretty stubborn sometimes. Okay. Change of plans. Like I said, I had a good track record of rehousings, but lately that has changed just a little bit, so try to just scoot him down into, kick hairs if you want to. I've got a cup protecting me now, buddy. There we go. I got him in there. He kicked a few hairs, but, and they're flying all over the place. But he's in his new home. Seems to be pretty happy. He goes right into his cork bark. You can see he's got a few bald patches on his booty, so I think he's been stressed. So I'm hoping that this enclosure will reduce that stress and make him happier and calmer and just more comfortable. So there is Stanley, my male Beoratum, in his new home. Let's go on. Okay, and on to our next rehousing, which has been a very, very long time coming. It's finally going to get a new home, and it'll be in here for quite a while because this is a slow grower anyway. You can see the old enclosure versus the new enclosure. Huge improvement and upgrade for this little guy right here. This is my Brachypelma albiceps, or Mexican golden red rump. Sling has been in this tiny little square box for months now, and it's time to give it a new home. Now this particular specimen here is pretty calm and can even be stubborn, like doesn't want to move when you want it to. So this may go easier, it might not. So let me get set up and we will get this guy in its new home. By the way, here is its new enclosure. This is a critter keeper that just recently opened up because my female Cuban bark scorpion died. If you didn't see that video, go back and watch it. It's kind of depressing. But that's a good thing about one animal in your collection dying, is that enclosure opens up for something else that really needs it. And this guy's been needing a home for a while, so we are going to try to do that now. And I am just going to lay the entire enclosure down in there and just walk it right on out. Ideally, you may get to see the stubbornness of this one. See, it's quite stubborn to move. When it does, it's reluctantly and slowly. But it has not ever thrown up any threat postures, kicked any hairs, bared any fangs, anything like that. This one is quite tolerant of contact. Unfortunately, it is a very, very slow growing species, but is gorgeous when it reaches its adult stage. So that has been my Mexican golden red rump, now in its new home with plenty of room to grow. Look for some updates on this guy and others. Let's move on. Alright, and so here is the next new home for the next tarantula. Got some sticks and some plants in there along with a cork bark and some substrate, leaf litter, and sphagnum. We'll see what this tarantula does with its new home. Now let's reveal said tarantula. As I mentioned, this is a very beautiful tarantula. This is a New World, a Mexican species. You're barely going to be able to see its feet, but that is my Bonitina cyanopemur, or the Mexican blue femur. It, as you can see, needs a new home, so that we're going to do that now. First thing I want to do is remove this piece of cork bark that it's using for a hide and reveal this beautiful little tarantula. This one has been pretty calm so far, so we will try try to just walk it right out. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. This is another one. Sorry about the shock there, guys. There we go. This is another one, as you can see, is still living in cocoa fiber. So it's time for it to move. This is a beautiful, beautiful tarantula. If I can get it to come out and spread out for us, you could see an example of that. This would be one that I would definitely hope is a female, because they're such a beautiful species. So much pinkish reddish hairs on them. There it goes, right out of the enclosure and underneath the cork bark. I may not be able to give you another shot of it, guys. I'm sorry about that. I didn't know it was going to disappear so quickly there. There it is, my Mexican blue femur in its new home. Be looking for updates. Alright, so I realized that this video was running a little long. I have two more rehousings that I'm going to do, but I'm going to do those in another video. And believe me, guys, I saved the best for last, at least maybe for you guys, not for me. But I have 2 more tarantulas that I need to rehouse. So, sorry we didn't get such a good look at the blue femur there. Just go back and play the video over and over again, I guess, or something. Really gorgeous spider. I wish we could see it a lot more. I hope you enjoyed this video, the rehousings, and just give me a thumbs up in a comment if you think so. Of course, subscribe and share. Take care of yourselves and each other. Getting ready to do the other rehousings right now. Take care. God bless.